This is a lesson on Rasgueado technique on open strings for classical guitar. And this comes from my new technique book, and there's a link for that under the video, but you can just watch it for free, and I think these will be pretty easy to pick up on for free. So, look, this is a book for classical guitar technique, and I'm a classical guitarist, I'm not a flamenco guitarist, so if you're interested in flamenco technique, there's much better books. Get a flamenco method book, watch flamenco guitarists teach videos. We're doing this for the purposes of right-hand technique and the basic idea of learning the technique for when it comes up in classical style repertoire. But there's a huge world of flamenco guitar that I'm not very good at myself, but I would love to be better at it, of course. But you can check that out separately. This is going to be much more about finger independence exercises. So a lot of these we're going to go through very slowly, and then if you want, you can bring them up to speed much faster. So just a reminder, we don't use this pinky finger very much in the right hand, but we will be using it on Rasgueado. So this is called C. So when you see it in the book, this is C, or chiquita, the little one, right? So the first exercise is just using C-A-M-I. And what we'll do is we'll rest our thumb on the 6th string. Now, before this gets really loud, if you wanted to quiet it down for practicing, you can either put your hand over the strings, which will just make it softer, or you can put a cloth beneath your strings here and just kind of mutes it. Especially if it's late at night and you live in an apartment or something like that, just mute your strings so that it's not crazy loud. So rest your thumb on the 6th string, bring all your fingers up, just into kind of like a fist, but relaxed fist, right? And then one at a time, release your fingers. So halfway, as soon as you're done releasing them one at a time, bring all your fingers up and start again. Now, in order to be really efficient, of course, you want to start bringing that C finger in pretty much simultaneous with the I finger, right? So that it's ready to play after the I finger. If you're having trouble releasing the fingers one at a time, like when you release this finger, this one accidentally comes off too, just give it some time. You just need finger independence. When I first do this with students, it usually takes them 1 or 2 weeks to actually be able to do one finger at a time. It seems so simple. It seems like something we should be able to do so easily. But it usually takes, well, at least 2 weeks sometimes for some students to be able to just release one finger at a time. And also to just relax their hand when they're doing it. Sometimes when they start, there's just so much tension in their hand and their muscles are getting so sore. So take lots of breaks. Don't strain yourself. If you feel any burning, just take a break or stop completely. Okay, the second one is, the second exercise is to just introduce some more rapidity to that first exercise. So we're going to be going I, C, A, M, I. So I finger, C, A, M, I, up with I, and then repeat. And when the I finger comes up, that's a great opportunity to bring all your fingers up and start again. So it's kind of like a continuous loop that you want to create. I, C, A, M, I. All your fingers are back up. And then do it again. I, C, A, M, I. And then you just put it on a continuous loop. Try to keep it very even rhythmically. Try not to like just do it however you want. Keep it even, because what we're trying to do is gain control over the fingers and gain finger dexterity. Same thing when you go to the continuous version. Don't go faster than you can keep an even 16th note rhythm. But keep it very, very steady. Flamenco players can do this really fast. I can't do it that fast, but I recommend that you do it very slowly because we're working on gaining finger independence. It's also a great workout for your tendons. Some people suggest that playing fast scales on the guitar is reliant on your fingers having good backwards reflex, like returning to the starting position. So strengthening those muscles and the independence of the fingers to return back, the reflexor kind of muscles. That's what you're trying to develop here, and that's why it's in my book. There's much better books for flamenco technique that you can get. The next pattern is I and P, so down with I, up with P. Remember, in the notation, the arrow points up for down. That's because it follows the notation, so low notes on notation are low down, so it goes from the low notes to the high notes. But in the real world application, the high note is here, so we're going down towards the high note. So anyway, I'm going to use down for down towards the floor. Down, up, down, up. So down with I, up with P. Same thing with down with A, up with P. These are good to practice. You know, just two fingers going back like that. It's a great style of strumming. The next one would be I, down with I, up with P, down with A, down with I. So I, P, A, I. Down, up, down, down. You can do it on open strings or with a chord. You can grab an E major chord. Muting it, sometimes when you're just trying to practice it, it's so loud that muting is a good idea. The next one just loops that. And like I said, like some people can do that so fast. I've never been very good at Rasgueado. But nevertheless, if you practice it slowly and gain finger independence, you can just up your speed as you go. And the last one I threw in, I kind of threw it in just for fun. It's not necessarily like great for your technique. It's just a fun rumba pattern. So it goes down with I, up with P, down with I, up with P, slap the strings, up with I, down with I, up with P. It makes more sense if you do it in groups. So the first bar is just down, up, with I and P, right? So the first bar, down, up, or I, P, then slap, up, slap, up, slap, I, P. Make sure when you slap that your I finger is in the bottom so that you can go up with it. Putting it all together, you can grab a chord or play it on open strings. Or grab an E major chord or an F chord if you want. You can just have a lot of fun with that. Just go very slowly at first, gain some finger independence and rhythm, very strict with the rhythm, And then you can just try to relax and loosen up a little bit and get those patterns kind of working. But again, the main reason we're doing is for a right hand workout, gain finger independence, and a little bit of introduction to the technique.